Good evening and welcome to the City of Beaumont EIR scoping meeting for the Orchard Logistics Center project. This is an opportunity for the public to provide input to the environmental consultant to be analyzed as part of the environmental impact report that is proposed for the project. We do have the applicant, the environmental consultant, and also the city's peer review consultant available on tonight's webinar. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to the environmental consultant to present their project, and then we can take any comments or questions following the presentation. Nicole, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if it looks good. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it, Nicole. Thank you.
Okay. Let me know if you can't hear me. Okay. My name's Nicole Morse with TMB Planning, and our firm has been hired to prepare an environmental impact report for the Orchard Logistics project. So I'm going to go through the purpose of the scoping meeting and talk about the project and the next steps. So the purpose tonight is to describe what the project is, give you an overview of the California Environmental Quality Act and the EIR process. And then the purpose is to get understand the scope of work for the upcoming environmental impact report. What environmental issues should be addressed and mitigation measures. And then we'll provide an opportunity for public input. So we have a regional map here as well as a vicinity map. The project is located approximately, it's approximately a 30-acre site, and it's located just south of the 60 freeway and just east of Western Knolls Avenue. Regional access to the site is provided by the 60 at Potrero and the 60 at Western Knolls Avenue. Local access is provided by this Nichols Road to the south, as well as Western Knolls Avenue to the west of the site. The project was the former, project was the former Dowling Fruit Orchard, and it includes abandoned produce store sheds in the northwestern corner of the site, as well as various types of fruit trees that are no longer cultivated or irrigated. The business is now closed, but it was formerly a family-owned business. So this is a site plan of the project. It includes approximately 610,000 square feet of warehouse use. 20,000 of that would be office use, with 10,000 being mezzanine. The project would include 312 auto stalls and 114 tractor trailer stalls. There will be a total of 96 dock doors on the east and west sides of the building. Truck access to the project site would be provided on a primary driveway at the southeast corner off of Nichols Road. And then auto access would be separated and provided off the southwest corner at the intersection of Prosperity Way and Distribution Way. There's an emergency access only at the northwest corner near the 60 freeway. This shows the elevations, the proposed elevations of the project. It would be constructed to be LEED equivalent with a maximum of 50 feet in height and designed in a contemporary architectural style. Architectural features associated with the building include concrete tilt-up panels, corrugated metal accent paneling, tinted glass, metal canopies, and architectural reveals. The building would be painted with a mixture of grays, whites, and blue tones. This is the proposed landscape plan. The landscaping would feature drought-tolerant plants and include a total of 194 trees, including both 36-inch and 24-inch box trees. A bioretention basin would be located on the western property line. The applicant would preserve sampling of the existing orchard fruit trees to incorporate them into the landscaping plan and honor the former Dowling fruit orchard. They would be installed at the southwest entrance of the site, along with a plaque to commemorate the Dowling family's history and their orchard on the property. This shows a proposed rendering of the project. The top left is a rendering of the east property line looking from the 60 freeway to the south. The bottom right is a rendering of the east property line again from Nichols Road looking north. Here's another rendering and elevation of the proposed project. The applicant's proposing a 3D sculpture on the building to celebrate the Dowling family's history. This is a view from the 60 freeway looking south. And then the bottom elevations show, both are from the 60 freeway looking south, and then the top one is from looking southeast, at the southeast corner of the building. Now I'm going to go over the California Environmental Quality Act and EIR process. So first, what is an EIR? What it does is inform the public and decision makers about the potential environmental impacts of a project. Once impacts are identified, we determine ways to avoid or eliminate significant impacts through either mitigation measures or alternatives. The environmental effects are just one of the factors that are considered by the decision makers when deciding whether or not to approve a project. This slide shows the process and timeline. We're at the very beginning stages of the process at the scoping meeting, initial study process. We released a notice of preparation of an EIR and initial study on July 20th for a 30-day public review period. That review period ends August 18th, 2022. And we are accepting comments on the initial study in order to scope our environmental document, which will be the EIR, which will be the second phase of this process. Once an EIR is prepared, it's fully vetted through the city and released for a 45-day public review period. We again will collect comments and then respond to those comments in a final EIR document. Once the final EIR is prepared, it goes out for a 10-day public review period prior to any decision on the project. And that's when it'll go to Planning Commission will start. So our role as a CEQA consultant is to work with city staff and prepare the technical reports and documents that go into analyzing the physical impacts of the project. We work with the city to identify ways to reduce those impacts and also clarify any environmental issues. And then we also provide guidance to the city with regard to complying with CEQA. And just a note that the EIR itself is not an advocate for a particular decision, but the purpose is really to identify environmental issues and mitigate them. During this process, we'll be consulting with numerous responsible agencies and trustee agencies, including the Beaumont Cherry Valley Water District, the Regional Water Quality Control Board will have future approvals, Flood Control District, all the utility companies, Air Quality Management District, and as well as the Native American Heritage Commission. The initial study took initial step at evaluating all of the 20 different environmental topical areas that are required by CEQA. It identified that there were 13 environmental topic areas that could be potentially significant. So these areas will be evaluated further in the upcoming EIR. They include agricultural resources, air quality, biological resources, cultural resources, energy, geology, greenhouse gas emissions, hazards, hydrology and water quality, noise, transportation. We will do a consultation with the tribes for the tribal cultural resources, as well as wildfire. There were some topical issues that were determined to be no impact or less than significant impact. These areas were aesthetics, land use and planning, mineral resources, population housing, public services, recreation, and utilities. These topics would not require further study in the EIR. The contact in order to provide any comments is Carol Kendrick, planning manager. Her email and phone number is listed on this slide. And at this point, we can turn it over to get any public comments on the project. And what we're looking for is environmental topics that you would like to see addressed or any specific issues related to the project and its potential and physical impact on the environment. That would include suggested mitigation measures or alternatives. And with that, I think I can turn it over back to you, Carol, to collect any comments that may come in.
Thank you, Nicole. We have no members of the public in the audience, and I don't see any additional participants on the webinar link. However, if anyone is watching remotely, we are accepting comments via the chat function in this webinar. As I said, we have no other participants besides the project team on the webinar at this time. However, we would like to keep the meeting open for another 10 minutes just to allow the public to filter in on the webinar or in person, just to give them the opportunity to come in if they're just running a little bit late. So I'd ask that everybody just stand by and we'll check in periodically over the next few minutes to determine if there's anyone that would like to comment. Yeah, actually, Nicole, would you be able to put up my contact information, that last slide on the screen, so that's showing just in case anybody does jump on?
Yes, I'll do that right now.
Thank you, Nicole. Like I said, it's about 5:44 right now. The meeting started at 5:30. Like I said, we'll check in periodically until about 5:55, and if we have no comments at that point or no members of the public, we'll go ahead and conclude the meeting. We will have a copy of this meeting available on the Planning Project's website. And again, the Planning Department's contact information is up on the screen. Please feel free to email or call in comments during the comment period so that we can provide that to the applicant. I do see we have another participant on the webinar. If you'd like to comment, please use the chat feature and we can go ahead and read your comment into the record. Yes, Mr. Silva, the webinar doesn't have a speaking feature. If you would like to pose your question via chat, we can go ahead and read that into the record and then respond accordingly. Oh, okay. Stand by, Mr. Silva. We may be able to allow you to speak. We're checking on that. No? Mr. Silva, we did confirm it's chat only, so if you'd like to type in your question, we can go ahead and read that in. Okay, thank you, Mr. Silva. I'm going to go ahead and read your comment. Good evening, all. My name is Sean Silva, and I'm speaking or typing, as it were, on behalf of the Californians Allied for Responsible Economy, or CARE California, this evening. CARE is an organization sorry, I'm trying to scroll. Isn't okay. Okay. Is an organization representing the community, and our goal is to see development across California minimize environmental and public health impacts, as well as ensure community benefits, including advancing the health of everyone in the community, from workers who build the projects to tenants, residents, and visitors to the project during its operational lifespan. As a community coalition group, we are interested in the public health and safety, and we have a particular interest in the construction-related environmental issues, including air pollution, noise, greenhouse gas emissions, and on-site soil contamination. We hope that the EIR will comprehensively address all of those issues. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Silva. It's 5:53, and we still have no members of the public in the audience, and we have no additional participants on the webinar. It's actually 5:54 now. We will, in 1 minute, conclude the meeting unless we have any additional participants. Again, this video of this meeting will be posted on the project's website on the planning page. It's under the Orchard Logistics project page under planning. You can also provide comments to planning staff. The contact information for myself is up on the screen with the email and address and telephone number. And at this time, I would like to thank everyone for their participation and the comments that we received, Mr. Silva. This concludes our presentation, and again, this will be posted on the city's website. Thank you and have a good evening, everyone.